G'day guys and welcome. My name is Michael and I am the Dead Aussie Gamer and welcome to Tales from Aulestria, the Winds of Wilderan. Joining me today, of course, is this amazing class of incredibly talented people from all around the internets who have come to join us here on this fantabulous, enchanted adventure, inspired, of course, by the Disney Robin Hood anthropomorphized cartoon. Joining us, of course, are these amazing people who have their own channels and their own projects going on. But to tell you more about themselves and, of course, what they are currently playing today, I'm going to throw the ball to my wonderful players. Take it away.
Oh, yes, I am Laura Bones, and I play Sorrel, the Syrian rogue. She's a little small squirrel, little small stabby squirrel, and she's having more adventure than she really planned. She'd always wanted adventure, but this is a lot of adventure. Um, but yeah, she's made a lot of really nice friends along the way, so it's been kind of worth it. And now she just hopes that we can save her homeland.
Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm Kim. I play Puddles, a tiny grunge bard. Puddles is a very curious frog that enjoys their pipe and healing with the power of bubbles, and making sure to pay tribute to the haberdashery deity.
My name is Aiden, and I'm playing Fennec the Vulpin. He is a monk that loves punching stuff and giving bad solutions to bad problems. And recently, he got a fighting style, so he's gonna be punching hard and punching good. I hope. So yeah, he's on that right now.
And hi, I'm Flint. I play Mocha, the Minotaur fighter, the Rune Knight, who hits really hard with her parents' cast iron skillet of justice, Maul, and enjoys being the big sister to the group and protecting them.
And of course, I am the game master for the evening. My name is Michael, and I am the Dead Aussie Gamer. And yeah, we have a bunch of very cool and exciting things for you, both the players and of course our lovely audience, who have the opportunity to be able to influence the game as well as to support these wonderful streamers. Now, if you want to, of course, there are a number of ways that you can influence the game during the course of the adventure. By donating, which should all be, there we go. The donation tiers are now there. You can donate $5 to award a hero point to a player, which will allow them inspiration to be able to pull themselves out of dire straits. For $10, you can create a random plot twist with none other than our man behind the scenes, Mr. Eddie Tor. And these random plot twists will be put into the game to add a little spice to my story. For $20, you can give one of the players a natural 20, which allows them to just decide that they win. You can also give it to me, because sometimes I deserve to win. Okay? Is that all right? Yeah? No? Too bad. Yes. Especially if you're here, Neil. Neil, you're my man. Anyway.
Don't do it, Nick.
Don't do it, Neil. That should be on a t-shirt. Don't do it, Neil. All right. For $50, you may create a notable magic item, special event, or NPC that will be inserted into the game. This is a permanent effect. Now, guys, you are all of course, getting the 4-episode warning. There are 4 episodes left of this season, so I don't want to jip anyone. So if you want to do the $50 tier for anything, now is the game to do it, because this is where the buck is going to start hitting super hard, and I'm sure these guys could use some more goodies and friends to help them through the next leg of the journey. All proceeds, of course, go to feeding Eddie, who is locked in a small cage. Eddie, of course, is the Minotaur that we have captured for this channel, and we do not allow him out, because every time we let him out, something bad happens to our stream. Right, Eddie? Yeah, you know what you did. All right, without any further ado, let's begin today's game with a very brief recap of where we were last week. So, our heroes find themselves in the southern reaches of Wilderan, in Morgrave Keep, home to the various gnolls that make up Wilderan's navy. Now, as of recent, things have gone pretty hard in Wilderan. The mammoths have invaded from the north. The king has fallen, and of course, right now, the steward of Wilderan is a wizard snake by the name of Hexus, who apparently is trying to usurp the throne from the rightful heir, the young daughter of King Leon's. Amidst all of this, the Gnoll of Morgrave Keep are trying to mount and stage an invasion of the nearby island of Kashina. By doing so, hopefully allowing the people of Wilderan a safe haven to escape the mammoth's rage. After speaking with our wonderful group of traveling adventurers, the commander of the keep has agreed to hold off on sending an invasion force for the time being, at least until such a time as the group has followed, should I say, the fate of the Striga, the wise owl folk who have called their destiny towards a hidden wellspring known as the Echo Spring, nearby Morgrave Keep, hopefully learning another way to resolve the conflict before it consumes Wilderan entirely. It is here we pick up. The night has fallen, and the group has managed to begin work on a number of tiny little projects. Over the course of the night, you have been invited to stay at Morgrave Keep. This is, of course, while you are having your armors repaired, wounds treated, and more importantly, where you are having your orichalcum ingots forged into items of magic and wonder. During the evening, I would like to ask, what are each of you doing amongst the castle and its various people? Puddles, let's begin with you.
Puddles is looking around for Sorrel, and when Puddles finds Sorrel, Puddles will pull their hat off, tuck their pipe under their little arm, hold their hat to their chest, and say, "You know, Sorrel, I've learned a lot of things over the last, I don't know, since all the gumballs and, you know, mostly I've learned that while it's my greatest desire for all of us to be happy, every time I tried to find that special someone for you, they seem to come into danger instead of falling in love. So I wanted to tell you that I'll no longer be looking for love for you because it's your heart and I shouldn't be playing with it. So I won't be trying to set you up anymore. And I'm sorry if I've made you so mad that you've had to kill everybody, that I've or hurt them or poke them or, you know. So I just wanted to say I'm sorry and I'll leave your heart alone.
Ah, right. Well, I haven't been angry, and to be fair, it wasn't really on purpose. Okay, I mean, I blew the goblin up on purpose, but I don't think he was very good, like as in a person, if you know what I mean. Um, the, the other one was just kind of a mistake. I mean, I didn't know he was going to get struck by lightning. How was I supposed to know that? Maybe it's just fate. Maybe it's just not supposed to be with anybody, and fate just decides, right, we better get rid of that one then. I don't know. But I appreciate your honesty, and just know that it hasn't upset me or nothing. It's kind of helped the time pass a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, I saw you sneaking away, and then when I tried to get you, because the commander, I mean, I thought he was commanding presence, and I just saw the way that your shoulders slumped, and it made me feel really bad because I just, I just wanted to let you know that I'm really sorry, and you know, I was just you're one of my good friends, and I just wanted to see you happy, and that was the whole reason why I did it. But I realized that a good friend doesn't try to force anything on anybody. They just enjoy the journey. So I'll just be enjoying the journey with you. And when you do find love, I only ask that you let me write the tale and sing it maybe at your wedding.
What? I wouldn't have anybody else do it. And if I have to be honest with you, the commander, he is quite handsome, but it's just, well, I've got bigger things to worry about right now, you know? And it's a lot of stress, the whole love thing on top of, saving the world.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you get back to what you're doing, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm sorry, and
No apologies
I wish
needed.
you the best of luck. Puddles will put their hat on and kind of skulk away.
Oh, who's that?
You hear the door knocking. As you
Oh.
approach, the heavyset door swings open. Okay, no, I'm gonna go easy. By the way, sounds in this show are courtesy of Sirenscape. I just like playing. On the other side of the door is the commander, a very tall and strapping gnoll who looks like this, thanks to Eddie, who I've now stressed out.
I hope he didn't hear you, Sorrel. Were you whispering that?
He did not, but he does stand. He does stand
Okay.
at the entrance with a tray of food. There seems to be various smoked fishes, some cheese, some bread, and an assortment of what you think is like mixed nuts. You're not sure how to feel about them, but they're there in a small little bowl. There is plenty of food here. He says, Sorrel, Puddles. I hope you find your accommodations to your liking.
Aye, they're, well, quite grand.
Excellent.
Yes, thank you. Pardon me, I'm going to go that way. And Puddles like runs out the door.
Puddles, you kind of are let past by the commander, who kind of looks at you and kind of bows as you pass him. He says, "Yes, no, I was quite concerned because we don't often get diminutive statured guests at the castle, so I just wanted to ensure that you were comfortable in your accommodations."
Aye, I am indeed. That bed is massive. Oh, it's going to be great sleeping in that tonight. It's bouncy as well.
He sort of smiles. He seems to be quite proud of his fort and of course the luxuries that are afforded to him. He says, "Yes, actually the original design fort was made by the Mogru from up north. They distinctly made this place for its fortitude and safety, thick walls and all that." He sort of bangs on the wall, which you can hear just sort of thuds on your side, but you can't hear anything in the corridor.
Yeah.
He starts like looking up and down on the architecture, and you can see there's like just an awkwardness about him. He goes, there's like a silence, and then, yes, I should probably check on the others and ensure that they are also settling in. Good night, Madam Sorrel. He
Good night, Commander. And you're right, it's a very nice fortress. Perhaps maybe you could give me a tour around it when you're less busy sometime.
he tries to say something, but he seems to bite his own tongue before then giving you this very regimental salute that you can now see above me, and then marching off down the corridor. Thank you, Eddie.
I'm just a sucker for love stories, man. This is too much.
Meanwhile, down in the bowels of the fortress, you can see that there is a hot furnace roaring with fire, and you can see that there are some very, very hot and sweaty gnolls wearing very, very thick aprons, goggles, and the like, banging on anvils and sort of pouring smelted metal ingots into these giant cast iron molds, dipping them into hissing vats of water, and mixed in among these individuals is, of course, the large bovine figure of Mocha.
Hmm.
I just kept going into coffee, and it wouldn't shake out of my brain. Mocha, what are you working on currently?
Well, after at first she had been probably up out of this particular area. She'd been reading intently this book that they'd gotten a while back, just kind of like going through like this thing has some really good ideas. And got stronger, found some strength in that. And so she went to the forge to test out her dad's hammer, and I believe she was starting with a sword for Sorrel.
Very nice.
That, yeah, Sorrel wanted something nice. So
as you start to
anyway.
work on the sword, you know, sort of banging the metal into shape, one of the gnolls steps up to you and says, "My, what interesting technique! You fold the metal instead of just simply shaping it in the mold. Why do you do that?"
Well, it's kind of weird because our family, well, at least with the way I do it, or the way I learned, our family is very big in cooking, and my family really likes pastries, so we were thinking of like a croissant type fold.
I see. I see. Bavinian blacksmithing techniques are indeed a sight to behold. We are more accustomed to building weapons that, well, are easily made and very replaceable. Such is the way of war, you know. We don't build things to last, but I guess if you're wielding such a magic ore as orichalcum, one does not want to rush these sorts of things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was never really good at this kind of stuff. Normally, my mom was much better, and my dad, but holding this, it just kind of comes, I guess. It's a weird kind of feeling, but making something to last.
You know, they say that you can tell a lot about a person by the tools of their trade. The hammer you wield is definitely one that belongs to someone who loved their craft.
You really did. I assumed I would never really follow in his footsteps, so it's kind of nice to feel it for a little bit.
As you continue to work on the blade, the ringing of the metal, the smells of the forges, everything sort of casts your mind back to a nostalgic moment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the flashback scene. Now, the flashback scene works as follows. I, as the GM, have another deck that I secretly stow away. This deck is called my flashback deck. I will now ask for our lovely Mocha to tell me when to stop shuffling this deck, and I will draw from this flashback deck a flashback that you are going to create about your father and an interaction you have had as a child.
Oh
So,
boy.
just say when.
Now.
All right. Pick a number between 1 to 5.
3.
1, 2, 3. Your flashback. Ooh. An embarrassing moment that you had almost forgotten.
Okay. So she's just kind of thinking while slamming this hammer down. She's kind of goes back to being much much younger, still like only having maybe one sibling below her. She's the oldest sibling of a very large family. Um and kind of trying so hard to get into the family forge and watch her father work. Uh and try to be so sneaky about it, but she's terrible at it because she's always been a klutz her entire life. So she's just trying to like it's still so big because they're minotaurs, they're big, but she's much smaller and she hasn't had that growth spurt yet that made her so big. So she's trying to like clamber up on something to like peek through a window or like get up higher on the door to be able to see through the little window in the door, and ends up like smacking something nearby on like a dresser, like a old side table or something like that with her tail, knocking it over, scaring her, like frightening her so much that she just kind of like leans forward into the door, opens it, and just kind of falls on her face in front, like in the area, and her dad has to come like stop what he's doing and go help her, and ends up messing up what he was doing at the time, but he's really patient about it. And despite the fact that she knows she just like messed up probably a few hours of work, uh she just has that reminder of him smiling down at her and saying it's okay, I can just redo it, I can always just reforge.
I love that. I'm going to throw a little bit extra in there as well.
Hmm.
Your father leans down to you, and you can't really make out the distinctions of his face. The memory itself is still a little spotty, but you remember him distinctly saying, "Mistakes happen, Mocha. But the good thing about working is that when you make a mistake, you boil down the ore, you build it back up again, you remove more of the impurities, and it becomes stronger. Remember that. Somebody who is skilled is not someone who starts by excelling and doing everything perfectly. You start by making mistakes and never giving up." And he sort of nuzzles your nose with the front of his big wet nose, and then shuts his eyes just so he can, like, just feel your presence. And you remember his head being enormous against yours, as that memory sort of happens, and you sort of see your orichalcum sort of misshaping in a second.
She kind of sees that and follows the advice. Keep going, get out the impurities. It's just a mistake, it makes it stronger. And just keeps going.
And you once again begin your reforge.
Hmm.
Now, meanwhile, across the castle grounds, which is actually quite vast, the castle itself is almost the size of a city. There is, of course, a large sort of sailing tavern. It serves as both a mess hall and a recreation place, a tavern, a pub, all of the above. And you watch as the knoll here sort of starts sharing stories and sort of punching each other in the arm. There's just this smell of booze and vomit that just seems to be almost heinous here. This is where we find, of course, Finnick, as he has been looking for the warriors of this place. As he's aware, the current situation sees many of the sailors from the Navy on a ceasefire against the Kashinian adversaries. So many of them are currently antsy, riled up, and just getting shit-faced in a small tavern. As you approach and find the tavern in its current state, one of the drunks sort of turns to you and says, "Would you look at this? Who would have thought? I didn't realize that there were tiny snowplows walking around in Wilderan." Oh, You're a small one, ain't you, fella?
Punch him in the face.
Oh!
I don't even say anything. I just punch him in the face.
All right. Yeah, look, he is not expecting it. He is drunk off his nut, and all of a sudden there's just this solid BAM as you collide your fist with this dude's nose. He falls backwards, and a couple of blokes, like two of them, sort of stands up immediately, and they're like, it looks like they're about to go in for a row.
I look at
when
them.
a couple
I
of
look at
Yeah.
them and I go, "So, what are the drinks? Come on!" And I go get a drink in the bar, and I sit in the bar.
All right. You go and sit down in the bar, and the rest of them sort of pick up their friend and sort of drag him over to a table. They kind of like put some water in front of him, just like, yeah, you're right, mate. You're right. Don't worry about it. The bartender appears to actually be non-Knoll. A half orc stands in front of you,
Whoa!
which is
Huge.
quite rare.
Whoa! That's big.
Now he is, of course, half orc plus
But-
half. Oh, sorry, what?
No. Go on.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say he is actually half orc, half lizard folk.
Whoa!
So
This
you
dude is
actually
tall,
see this very
right?
thick, very crocodilian scaled lizard with these massive tusks that just sort of jut out the side of his jaw. He says, "I haven't seen Bolvar take a punch like that for a while. This one's on me." He puts down a large pitcher in front of you of what looks to be this very almost viscous fluid with a beer foam top, slides it across.
He kind of grabs it and looks down on it, and you can see the reflection of the lizard folk, like huge, and like I can barely see the scales on the reflection in my tiny head on the glass. And I kind of look up at him and I go, "This dude is huge, right?" Like
Yeah. No,
orc, half
he's
lizard
huge, but
folk?
he's not.
like compared to me.
Yeah,
he's
he's not.
huge, right?
Yeah, but he's not like broad. He's very lean, as it were. Like the
Yeah.
croc, for example, they're the big, muscly, kind of heavy set, big head, big shoulder kind of dudes. The lizard
Yeah.
folk are more like like the husband you met before, very lean but still very tall. So this guy's like one of those.
Well, I've seen like polar bears after a shower. Like they are skinny too. They
Yeah.
just have a lot of fur. I just kind of look at him and I go, "What does it feel like to be so big?" Like you can look down everybody, right?
Well,
There's-
interesting you say that. Well, to you I might be big, young friend, but I have seen places and seen creatures that dwarf even my size. Big is all a matter of perspective. Sometimes you need a different perspective to see that which others don't. For example, my mother, rest her soul, found love on an adventure with a handsome orcish man upon the high seas down south. When the high seas no longer called, my mother sequestered me here to Wilderan. She feared that my appearance would alarm others, and my father spoke highly of, well, the discrimination that are found in the human territories.
It's funny because I know how it feels to be something, but also not quite ever.
Mm.
And like, for example, like polar bears, right? Bears. You know how they have tiny stubs instead of an actual tail. Like I remember when I was a kid, like I grew up with polar bears, right? Like, well, so they were like, "You want to be a polar?" I wanted to be a polar bear when I grew up. So they told me, "Okay, you want to be a polar bear? We all used to look like you, but then we tied our tail to a tree, and when we were polar bears, we just fell off and the tail just stood there. So you just need to go and do that." And I remember the face of the matriarch when she found me after 3 days missing, almost freezed over on a tree branch, waiting to become a polar bear. And he is like 5 drinks deep at this point. Every finish of a sentence,
Oh, yeah.
he's drinking, and he's like, and by that point, Mom was like, it synced in on me that I wasn't ever gonna be a polar bear, and that's when I said, and I fall over and I fall asleep. I'm just
The bartender listens to every single word you say, every now and then saying polar bears sound like jerks.
oh, they are, but they're school jerks. That's every time he says jerk, he says, yeah, but they're cool. And after that he falls asleep on the floor of the bar, snoring
right.
like a baby.
As you fall asleep, he gets a clean dish rag, kind of folds it over a few times and places it under your head as he continues to kind of work around you. You can see that there are a couple of other patrons who are passed out on various tables. It is not uncommon, especially while all the soldiers are, undeployed. So, he does that and kind of looks after you as he continues to attend to the evening. Now,
Beautiful.
the following morning, the rooster crows, and the building awakens to the sound of horses being prepared out in the main courtyard. Unless there is something you guys would like to do in the morning, you guys will gather up with supplies as provided by the commander to journey to the Echo Spring.
Actually, I would like to go to the magical bag that we got, the one that had 3 items inside, and I'm gonna grab out this tusk wax that is inside there, and I'm gonna run to the bar, and I'm gonna grab the wax. I'm gonna give it to the bartender, like,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna like there's for you for. I'm trying to buy your silence, okay? Don't think anything else about this. And I run away before he can say anything to me.
Puddles would also like at dawn to go out in the center of the keep where probably everybody is sleeping, and just as the rooster starts to crow, Puddles is gonna play a really loud song and just give morning, ablutions to the haberdashery god, and just like dance around and do the typical hat dance, just to make sure that they're doing their daily venerations and making sure that they've not forgotten all of the special gifts, and also try to mimic the rooster and do very poorly at it.
All right. I'm gonna try and play some music. It's called Banish Misfortune. I've never heard it, but let's see if this is something close. In the center of the square, you can see Puddles is started to play music. Even the crow is sort of bouncing its head in tune to the music being played. And actually, you place everyone in rather a chipper mood. The ablutions to the haberdasher seem to go over very, very well. Some of the gnolls even donning their helmets to come out and also participate in a hat dance alongside. You can see a variety of different adornments to the headdresses. Little feathers or like little cloth wraps. There's actually quite a few members of the haberdasher god who seem to join you in your morning ritual. Even going so far as to thanking you, because this is probably the most interesting way that they have been taught to praise be the haberdasher.
Mocha would probably be out like listening to this for a bit, and maybe if people are like I'm not quite sure, do they like hand out like breakfast to like the troops type stuff like that? Would we like get some of that? Might take some of that, try a little bit of it, just kind of like have one of those like eureka moments about something and be like, point me towards the kitchen, I gotta trade tips right now, and just go. try to find.
It is an
yeah.
assortment of sausages and eggs, as well as a variety of different fruits that have been sort of sliced, most of which have been freeze dried but then rehydrated. A lot of the supplies being, of course, stuff that they would take on the boats and on the ships, but with everything docked at the moment, they're just getting through it as much as they can. Freshly squeezed orange juice, for example, and the like are common here, as well as what looks to be a strange brown liquid. It has a very, very bitter smell. And you can see that some individuals seem to be putting milk in it, as well as some sugar. The chef appears to be a large pig man named Dan. Dan the pig man.
Dan the pig man. Yeah, she just immediately like goes up to this guy and starts asking what that bitter stuff is, and also explaining like some tips for two people that are used to like making food for a lot of people at once.
Oh,
just
yeah.
like things that she's learned, and just like instant friendship, instant kinship here.
Oh yeah, you watch as he sort of at first thinks like thinks you're just looking for seconds, but then as he sees your genuine interest in the food, he sort of
having a giant skillet.
Yeah, he sort of grumbles and sort of groans, but then says, "If you're going to watch, then watch from over there." He's then kind of blushing a little bit as he's almost like he's trying to impress you, as he like works double speed, and you can watch as with one hand he's like chopping sort of spring onions, and in the other hand he's sort of flipping searing hot skillets filled with rows and rows of maple bacon. Just hamming it up because
I think
trying her best to see if she can help. just a little bit, getting back into the swing of things for so many people.
Saul comes running in. Saul comes running in halfway through this, holding a mug. And she's like, "Have you got any more of that brewed stuff? It's amazing! Oh my gosh! We need to take some of this with us." Like all of it.
What Mocha and the chef here is.
You okay there, Sorrel?
She seems to be vibrating at a frequency you can no longer hear. Only
Lots
dogs
of sugar,
with very
but, like,
particular
sugar,
hearing can.
I put a lot of sugar in it, and it's I feel great. I could bounce everywhere. You need to learn how to make this.
Yeah, and more of this orange pea, please. And he holds up the orange juice. He has never even seen an orange before.
That's true. You probably wouldn't. Yeah, you are both poured more refreshments and stuff, and you enjoy a hearty breakfast. All right. As breakfast comes to its inevitable conclusion, the commander is waiting for you by your horses. He says, "Now, as previously mentioned, we have provided you with as much stuff as we can. We don't expect that you return to the keep. In fact, feel free to keep the horses, a sign of goodwill on behalf of our previous misunderstanding involving, of course, the incidents of yesterday. However, as mentioned, I cannot, in good conscience, allow for the people of Wilderan to suffer. So 3 days is all I can give. In those 3 days, we will then begin to prepare and launch for our attack on Kashina. It is not my desire to seek out war, and I do hope that your journey will bear fruit, and I will not have to go ahead with this plan.
Don't
Safe
be worried,
travels."
we'll be right lickety-split there and back in no time. Just you wait.
He nods. Well, Godspeed. And he salutes you. And you may now set off.
Right. Have we got horses, or is like a horse and a cart? Like how?
It is your choice. You may have a horse each, or you may have a horse and cart.
I have some really small horses.
Puddles is gonna ride in Mocha's mug and spend the traveling time getting nice and moist.
Yeah. I don't know. Mocha's huge. I don't know. if she can even like fit on a horse.
The
That's
horse
possible,
is
yeah.
what's called a. Sorry, there is a word for this horse.
Or is it like a Clydesdale, like
A
huge?
warhorse,
Hmm.
because those are like large and have like 18 strength, so
Hmm.
those could definitely take Mocha.
Mocha is stronger than this horse now.
Yeah, you are. You could like ride. The horse could be on top of you, and you could just carry it to the other place. Like it's like Uber, like an Uber man picks up a taxi driver. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that.
For
This
chat's
Mocha
knowledge,
picks up a horse.
they gave her this book that increases
Destria.
strength and roll like a d6 plus 1 for how much to the strength score, and I rolled a 6, so plus 7 strength. She now has a strength of 23.
Yeah, which
Wow.
is crazy.
That is insane. All right.
She's
The
swole.
type of horse these are called destriers. Now, destriers on average have a size of. Why are they hand sizes?
While
That's
you're
how you
while you're
measure
checking that,
horses in hands.
Is it?
Yes.
Puddles is gonna call out to the horse as best as possible using animal friendship and say, "Excuse me, is your name Mr. Ed?"
That is all.
Did you mean speak with animals? Maybe. That's a
No,
bar
Puddles
spell,
just
right?
wants to make friends with them.
Oh, yeah. We yes, no, they absolutely. All right, so I thought you were just talking to the horses, like just talking to the horses. All right, so
Yeah, just
they
talking
are
to the horse.
16 hands big, whatever that means.
That's reasonable. I think a Clydesdale's
Pretty
bigger.
tall, reasonably tall.
16 puddle hands big, so they're really small.
It's
Super
a
small.
pony. All right. The horse says. Hold on, let me find a voice for this. All right. What? Who said that? Well, I do declare, ain't you just the sweetest looking little thing?
We can all understand them, or only puddles?
Only Puddles. Anyone
Whoa.
who's cast the spell.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I was giggling about Mr. Ed.
Well, that's all right. I said that you are by far the most adorable little thing that I have ever had the pleasure of laying eyes on.
Oh, why, thank you. I do love your mane. Do you have a tale to tell? Maybe I could share your story.
You hear the horse whinnying like as it gets a good chuckle out of that. He says, "Well, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely known for telling tall tales. That's for sure."
Oh, you're very funny. I like it. I hope you don't mind that my friends and I are, you're very helpful and we really appreciate it. So thank
Oh,
you.
Oh well, thank you for your appreciation. I've been a horse here in the Knoll military for some time now, and nothing brings me greater joy than being useful to folk such as yourself.
Oh, is it okay if I call you Mr. Ed? And or is there anything that are you hungry? Do you want? I don't know. Do you really like carrots?
Well, I like sugar. Sugar is definitely one of my favorites. I also enjoy a little apple tipple if you've got any.
Mocha. Mr. Ed would like sugar or apple tickles. Do you have apples to tickle Mr. Ed with? And Puddles will point to the horse.
I look at Moke and I go, "What's an apple even?" Right? I don't know horse things, and I ride on that horse.
Yeah, your horse basically says, "Duh, we will move quickly. Come, hurry. You are small, very light, good for speed."
We have to, like,
Thank
reach
you,
Already
too,
like
apple or
horsey.
something for some sugar.
Yeah.
Like Shetland ponies kicking about. Sorrel, a little Shetland pony.
Yeah,
He's
tiny
actually
little
just going to
one.
be sitting in the middle of this horse's back, just like.
Sorrel and little Sebastian. Just,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. All right. You gather up your horses, as well as their rations, and begin to make your way northward. Now, the horses are very speedy and swiftly make their way through the forest. This feels like you're on the way to, like, what's that last thing, like Victory Road in Pokemon? Is that just me, or is that just
It does
little bit,
remind
yeah.
me of that a little bit.
okay? So, you start making your way northwards through the forests. You can hear the sounds of the bannermen sort of blowing their trumpets along the battlement. You can see ahead of you the wide open fields and forests. And for the first time, you feel the breath of adventure whizzing past you as you careen forward. This is the first time you've become close to an answer. You've searched far and wide for a solution to the mammoths, but have yet not come upon any. It is not far before you can see the road turning off and a river leading towards what sounds like a trickling dam that creeps along the very countryside. Eventually, you see an opening further ahead. As the forest parts, stop it. As the forest parts, you see further up ahead a very, very pristine lake surrounded by a clearing of trees. Even the wind doesn't seem to penetrate through the arboreal wall that protects this small inlet of water. The water is so still, so perfectly still, that it almost looks like a gaping hole in the ground. It reflects the sky, and just this immaculate picture of glass appears in front of you where the water would be.
Whoa.
There is a different serenity that exists here. Even the animals don't seem to come and drink. You hear, however, the sound of a voice, quietly singing among the woods.
Oh, can you hear that, Puddles?
Jules just nods.
Really beautiful. It's sad.
It is beautiful. I do not trust it.
Hmm.
Very peaceful around here.
Too peaceful.
Right, well, what were we supposed to do here again? Take a wee bath, wasn't he?
Yeah, we're supposed to splash each other and play fetch in the water
What?
or something. Yeah, you know, when
What?
you tag someone and then you run and they have to either go for you or someone else. And after a while, the one that ends up being, the one loses and has to go hunt.
All right, that sounds like loads of fun. And she just reaches out and pats Fennec and goes, "You're it!" And then she runs and time bombs into the fire.
I run for her. Come
Right.
here.
You
leisurely
dive bomb.
striding to keep up with them easily.
Oh yeah, you dive bomb into the water with this huge splash, Sorrel, followed very quickly by Fennec. Mocha, are you jumping in as well?
Like I said, it doesn't take her very long to just leisurely stride up to this place and just like one of those people are just walking straight in down as far as she'll go.
Yep, and Puddles, you can kind of see. Yeah, you're in the cup and you see the water level
Yeah.
just slowly rising up, Mocha, towards you.
Puddles will just like kind of swim from the liquids in the mug into the liquids that Mocha is in, and Puddles really like starts flopping around, kind of scared, um, because the last experience Puddles had in water was when they were very, very, very young, and when their family moved on and left them there. So Puddles is not very good in the water and is starting to freak out a little.
Oh, and seeing that, Mocha will try to like pick up Puddles and kind of put them on her head.
Oh, thanks.
From behind, Fanning will start poking out and go,
Like a little crocodile.
yeah, Puddle's gonna go, boop, you're it. It's gonna go down the water again.
Mocha's pulling like
Oh.
that what was it? Mocha and Puddles are pulling that thing from Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack is standing on the ship as it sinks. It's just Mocha that's sinking.
Like
Puddles.
nose out, like tippy toes on in the bottom of the lake.
Puddles will take off their hat, turn it over so that the bottom part is down, and then as Puddles like jumps into the water, they put their hat down and jumps into the hat and tags Mocha. And then like, but it's more of a
Oh.
pushing themselves away from Mocha and tagging Mocha. You're it.
If you want, as you reach into the hat, you can pull out an oar.
Okay. And Puddles will
Right.
actually use their pipe and use it
Oh.
as an oar.
Yes.
All right, Mocha, you are now officially it, and Puddles, you're kind of swimming away. Sorrow, as you're kind of underwater for a little bit, you can see your fur is sort of swaying in the water. There's definitely a lacking of current here, except for the ones made by your presence here, which is very strange. The water is so clear you can actually see with your eyes open perfectly, almost as if you were above the water. There is no dirt, there is no grime, there is no murk. It is purified water that seems to stretch outwards. Looking around, you can see a number of small plant life growing at the bottom of the lake here. You can also see an assortment of fish gliding through the water, and you also spy what appears to be a small cave entrance underwater.
Sorrel pops her head up out of the water and looks around to see where people are. There's a wee cave down here.
Oh.
Well, I say wee, I don't know how big it is. It's a cave.
Is there enough light for you to see in there?
In the cave, I'm not sure, but underwater, it's like as bright as daylight up here. The water's really clear.
Okay.
Should we go check it out, then?
Because if you need a light, I can give you a light.
Hey, oh, wait! And Sorrel pulls a rapier out, and she just goes, Flamio! And it just goes, whoof, goes into flames, and she's like, you did a really good job of that, Mocha. I love it every time.
Is that gonna work underwater? I don't know how fire works very well.
It's magic fire. I don't know, but I just wanted to show off, right? Besides, Puddles have got the light thing covered.
Yeah, Mocha's gonna wait over, like, look at that, and just like look at like she's really checking on it, and then tags Sorrel and just
This big finger sort of pushes you back underwater. As it does so, you notice that
the
the
ultimate
sword.
boop.
Yeah, as you notice it, you notice the sword itself does not extinguish, but you start to not be able to see the flames on the blade as the water around starts to bubble. So you can't kind of see just around it. It's like this sheath of yellow bubbles that just seem to go around it. The water does also get slightly warmer around you. Not enough to boil you, of course, but it's still fire damage.
It's really
She'll
cool.
speak the word and put it out again.
Yeah.
Puddles will blow a big, big bubble. But as the bubble comes out, it has it has like a glow to it, um, and kind of lights up um, in a radius around the bubble, and Puddles will shove their head under water and just push it out so the bubble floats towards Sorrel, and then pull their head back up and exhale.
Very nice. What does the bubble do?
Cast light. I'm casting light to like kind of float around. The goal is to make it float around with Sorrel.
All right. This glowing bubble of light follows you around. Do you wish to explore the cave?
Only if
Yep.
everybody else is coming with us.
Would everybody else like to go?
That is a good idea, though. Can Puddles, can you tell our friends to stay put for now while we check this out?
Puddles will call over to Mr. Ed and say, "We're gonna go exploring underwater. Can you, make a noise if you hear anything, and like really, really loud. Do you want me to stay up here with you while they go under there?"
Oh no, that's
Or-
quite all right. If we need to, I can make a hell of a ruckus. Yeah, don't even worry about it. We're perfectly fine.
Okay. And Puddles will give them thumbs up, and then flip over in their hat and like pull it down so that there's inside the inside the top of the hat, but like pull their head up so that they're like trying to swim downwards, but with like a hat with an air bubble in it.
Very well. These two little legs just keep kicking at the back of this hat, and you propel yourself forward. The horses look at each
Frog
other.
pedaling.
The horses look at each other and say, "Did you see that?" "I didn't see anything. What did you see?" "She gave us a thumbs up. We can't give thumbs up. We have hooves." "That is
Or
rather
Horsinator.
unfortunate." Yeah. "I'm not Arnold
Or-
Schwarzenegger. I'm Arnold
No.
Schwarzenegger. Don't get my name wrong. Stop it."
I said the Horsinator.
The horse.
not the-
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, dumb joke. Let's go back into the cave. Okay. I'm
Very well.
sorry.
All right.
Okay.
You swim down, following following Sorrow and the light source as you slowly make your way to the mouth of what looks to be the only source of any kind of motion in the water. Water seems to be flowing out of this cave, and you need to swim against the current. Can I get an athletics check from everyone as you go through?
No. Yeah, okay.
No.
No.
Oh yeah. Yep. Okay.
Ooh.
Mocha's gonna destroy your
Oh, come
rolls, dude.
on! I rolled a 19 and it didn't show.
Now you're gonna roll a 1.
Yes!
Still a 19. All right.
Whoa.
Obviously.
So the current is not strong enough to prevent any of you from proceeding forward. As you
I
make your
mean,
way
Mocha
forward.
makes a new current just by swinging her arms under the water.
Oh yeah. As you are following, well, I presume you guys are following Sorrow, but Mocha, you kind of take the brunt of the tide as it's sort of pulling outwards, and you kind of swim past and through the cavern, and eventually you come to this very, very beautiful chamber. There is air inside this chamber as you emerge from a small pool inside of a cave. From the surface, you can see stalactites from the ceiling hanging with these strange bioluminescent vines that hang down towards where you have emerged. At the other end of the room, you hear the source of the singing. A beautiful woman seems to be singing a melancholy tune whilst looking into what looks to be a almost like a stone bowl naturally formed in part of the ground.
It's a witch.
Hi.
as you say hi, you see the creature look up at you. Eddie, can we have the creature? By the way, also there's a slight mature warning. There is a bottom in the photo. I made it there. I put it
Not
there
a
intentionally.
bottom.
I wanted people to see a
Oh.
bottom.
Hmm.
Bottom.
Bottom.
There we go. Oh, the bottom is my head.
Eddie!
Thank you, Eddie. I see what he did there. I'm
Eddie's
literally a
saving and
censor.
rating.
Yeah, I'm literally censoring my own art. Okay, fine, whatever. Okay.
It's
So-
amazing.
So what you see is a beautiful woman that seems to have various growths upon her body. She has pointed ears and slender hair that is matted into knots, weaved with the various vines and the like. She looks to your direction and says, "Hail, travelers. From whence dost thou come?"
What are you, cop? What do you want to know?
Oh. Pokes Fennec
I-
back down the water.
I can't even fight back. She's way too strong for me.
I am the Nerid. And this is where I belong.
A lovely voice.
Thy words are too kind, softly spoken, and meaningful. Dost thou seek something? Perhaps one would like to taste. And she gestures to the basin filled with water.
Well, to be fair, we were just kind of told to come here. By the owl, the striga. Aye.
You see her demeanor change. What, those bloody Strigger? God damn it, every single time, every time I want to get a vision quest or something, those goddamn owls get in 2 steps ahead and tell everyone where I live. Do you know how annoying it is when people knock on your door thinking that you've got some sort of big holy quest and they're more interested in what some pommy, stuffed up, cobweb-ridden owl has to say? Oh yeah, sure, go up to the top of the mountain, speak to the owls, they're so wise. No one decides to come to the mystical lake and talk to the enchanted Nerid now, do they? God, blimey, it just grinds my gears, it does.
Well,
So you're not here for the
think
quest.
about a wee bit of advertising. I mean, I didn't even know that.
Advertise. What do you want me to do? Walk in, tits hanging out into a pub and say, wanted some strange Burks to drink some magic woman's liquid and then head out into the wilderness and potentially die?
I could see it. So how that wouldn't he work
That's
very
what I
well.
thought.
I'm
But
not gonna touch
what
that.
about like some flyers or some posters or something?
Puddles.
Puddles
Her hand up.
just slowly raises their hand. I mean, if you would have walked into my tavern, I would gladly have drunk of your.
She says, well, I appreciate that. But listen, if you're not here for my quest and you're here for some sort of old bird's quest, what have they told you? I bet it's nothing.
No, but
I bet
I'm
they haven't
here
told
for
you
your quest. I'm totally here for your quest.
You're here for my
I heard
Oh,
you calling, singing from the edge of the, and I know that we're all supposed to be here for Strigger things, but let's just be honest. The minute I heard your voice, I just knew. You were singing for me to come, and I'm scared of the water, okay? I'm scared of water, and everybody knows it, except for Fennec. Fennec didn't know that, but
Fennec is still
But I
tapping
was
Mocha's
just-
hand to go breathe.
Yeah,
was a
follows Fennec back up by the water by the scruff.
If you're a cop, you have to tell us.
I was
Keep going.
totally drawn to you for that voice. You are magnificent. And I'll drink your basin water.
Also, hi, this is our friend Puddles.
Puddles,
Hi.
a name that brings all fate upon thine shoulders. You are truly destined to be here. Names that are born of the liquid are part of the liquid. Come. This was the enchanted spring that once decided the king of Wilderan. You see, the lions, when they first set foot upon this sacred and holy place, drank from this very basin and learned all about what was required to assume a peace that fell over Wilderan, and followed the instructions of the well of eternity, because that's what I'm making up right now, because I didn't name the well. I called it the Spring of Echoes, maybe the Well of Echoes, but then it's the Everything of Echoes. So, the Well of Eternity. Those who drink from it are granted great portents and vision, and learn much. Come, Puddles, and verily drink deep from eternity.
Those will take off their hat slowly and hold it against their chest. Take and it blows some bubbles out of their pipe as they walk slowly towards the basin and kind of look up, lean all the way back because obviously the Narietta is much more taller than Puddles. And Puddles will just say, "You mind if I hop up there, or is that disrespectful?
You may hop.
Would you mind wearing my hat? You look like a fashionable person."
She says, I do not wear the garbs of clothes, but for one such as yourself, I shall indeed make an exception. She takes your hat and she puts it on. She's
Insight check.
really hot.
Oh, wow. You're beautiful. So, wow.
She seems to blush a little.
You are the most fashionable fashionista with the voice of the gods. Puddles will try to hop up and kind of like jump too short because Puddles is like really enamored by this beautiful creature and then hop up again and try not to land in the basin. But who knows? And then lean over and slowly flick their tongue out and just take a taste.
Right. As you step up onto the platform, you see into the reflection and can see yourself as you lean forward and drink from the waters. Hopefully, I have this. Maybe I don't. Here we go. Your tongue dips into the water, and you see a reflection. It's almost as if your eyes suddenly are cast high above Wilderan, like you're a bird soaring through the skies. You fly almost across the entire continent. You see the large wall at Linorm's Rest, the areas that have been broken and destroyed. You can see the armies of the mammoths just beyond the wall in the land of ice, behind trebuchets and catapults, large battlements filled with the military war forces at the ready. Small contingents of towns are attacked and assaulted by very small strike squads of mammoths, but even now, those are nothing. They are a drop compared to the might of the mammoth kingdoms that lie just in wait. You can see the castle and its keep. You see that the guards are on high alert, tired, weary, and worn. You see the townsfolk fleeing from Safety Bay, moving across and onto these various barges that are crammed like sardines, shoulder to shoulder, just off the coasts with nowhere to go. You also see to the south the Lamented Woods and a large ruin. Your mind sees you flying towards that ruin and down through a secret tunnel beneath a large stretched out tree, down into a deeper area where the earth itself cracks open and fire pours forth from the walls. You can see another altar, a large one built long ago, and in its center you see what looks to be a scaled egg the size of pretty much of you, warmed by the earth itself, and a scintillating color of red and blue. You have never seen this type of egg before. No creature of Wilderan has an egg like this.
Wow, that's a trip. There's pretty colors and land and wow, there's even this. Wow, is that a hidden tunnel? Everything looks. I can see people fighting and oh, look at all those people stuck in the water. Oh man, lava is so hot. What's that? An egg? Huh? There's an egg. Oh man,
Oh,
I've
are you
never
okay
seen
there,
anything
Puddles?
like it. It's beautiful.
Looking at the net.
We
Are
have
you
to
gonna
go
be okay?
there. It's beautiful. Puddles just kind of swoons a little.
No, seriously, are they gonna be okay?
Puddles, your vision, so I'm going to add a little bit extra to it. If there's any details you would like to see in addition, this is literally think of it like it gives you a vision of all of Wilderan simultaneously. So you get to see anything from the greatest to the smallest details. If there's anything specific you would like to look for or find, you may do so long as it is within the confines of Wilderan and the coast just around it.
Oh, Puddles would as their vision is kind of going around. One thing Puddles sees very few of is people like her, them. I'm sorry, not her, them. People like Puddles, um, but also Puddles wants to see if there's any movement from the troops, even though they just left there to kind of make sure that the word is being kept, but also if as the mammoths are coming around, is there are they moving in any direction, perhaps to warn people? But most of all, Puddles wants to see what happened to their home since they've left, like
All
where
right.
everybody's from. And that's like everybody from if there's a way to see what's happened in the north, but also where Sorrel, Mocha, and Puddles are from.
All right. I can do that. So, your vision continues briefly. You look and find yourself in the castle where the Knolls held fortress in Morgrave Keep. You see the commander. The commander is approached by a very familiar Gnoll by the name of Drezzy. Drezzy seems to be angry. He throws stuff off the table and is starting to yell at the commander. The commander is looking out the window. He turns, he seems to say something to Drezzy. Drezzy turns and leaves, slamming the door on his way out. The commander sits with his hand pressed against his head. You notice that the troops have not left the fortress, but you do see Drezzy. Drezzy is talking in the bar that Fennec was at. He's talking to several of the troops who seem to be nodding and agreeing with whatever he's saying. But that is all that's happening right now. To the north, you see your homeland, the small town of Kent. You see the buildings gutted from the inside out. You see fires that have burnt stables and farms to the ground. You see Sorrel's old homestead just outside the town. A small hunting lodge is the only structure left standing. You can see Mocha's family home, the home where you, Puddles, have also grown up, utterly devastated and destroyed. You see the farm where you met those two lovely Aura and their lovely cow, also ravaged, trampled even by the large heavy steps. The Auroch, they're there at the farm alone, but no sign of the husband and wife. You look around and try to find where the mammoths are. The ones that attacked your village have been following you. They have made their way, cutting through the countryside and making their way through the Fandal forest, hiding from the forces of Bovenheim before they attacked. They now cross the Wilderan plain. You see that a number of them have done battle with centaurs. A small squadron of them seem to lie battered and broken. You see two centaurs who seem to be crying over the loss of their comrades, their eyes filled with both sorrow and rage. And lastly, you see at the top of Rock's Watch on Linorm's Rest what looks to be a scarred, one-tusked mammoth. This is the Jarl. He watches as eagles and the falkry stare down. One particular one seems to be delivering a message. The commander shakes his head and sends him off. He heads south to Calico's Landing. You know that he bears a striking medallion over his neck, one that resembles the crocodile that helped you, Rictic. This is likely the friend that he had mentioned before, the Falkry who had been helping them with information. And you can see that very suddenly he is attacked by a squadron and dragged to the ground.
Oh no.
That is what you see as you take your closer look.
Puddles will you see like the tears streaming down Puddles' face. And Puddles will look to the Nereid and like the longest puppy dog eyes you've ever seen. And say, everyone that could help us, everyone that we've come across, they're either our homes are destroyed, our companions, people who we've helped. What are we gonna do? You have to help us find a way. You have to help us. How do we get to the egg? How do we get there? They're all lost. And then Puddles will put their hands on their eyes and just sob.
Go up to Puddles and try to She can't really give a hug. It's mostly just like cupping hands. That's the closest to a hug she can give her tiny friend. Really gentle with it.
Everyone
We'll
we've
get through
helped
this.
everyone we've helped is gone. Our homes are destroyed, and they're coming. The mammoths are coming, and Puddles will like look up at Mocha, like biggest distress in their face, and the mammoths, they're following us. And you remember the wizard,
Hmm.
the friend. I saw him. I saw what they did to them. I Puddles will just kind of collapse.
Puddles. lift up Puddles and just kind of rest. Oh.
The Nerid, who has nary said a word, turns and says, "Yes, the pool of eternity shows much, but as it may show things as they are, they do not yet show things as they may be. Here, allow me to bestow upon you a blessing, for I worship the goddess Kidnera, who is one with the land from which all come from. May this blessing guide you through your journeys, wherever the pool may lead you, Puddles." She takes a small scoop of the water and places it in a small glass vial. She lays her hands upon it, and as she does, she closes her eyes, and it begins to glow brightly in blue. She hands it to, she tries to give it to Puddles. Seeing that she's distraught, does Puddle take the vial?
Puddles reaches their hand up very weakly and like cuddles the vial like it's like a child would cuddle their stuffed animal that they love the most.
She says, "I wish you well. May thine quest before ye see you successful, and joy and hope follow in your stead."
I was told once that my hat was really important, and I have never seen the hat speak as amazingly as it did when you put it on your head. And I would like to I would like you to keep it until we've found what we need to find to hopefully bring peace. And when we've done everything that we can, I'll come back for it and come back to visit you if you wish.
She smiles. As she does so, you notice something very peculiar. Her once very, very beautiful and radiant face seems to be slightly older than you remember, wrinkles appearing over her visage. She says, "Your gesture is kind. As kind as your heart. I would relish the opportunity to meet you yet again, Puddles. Allow me to instead give you yet another gift." She reaches into her mouth, and she sort of pulls out what appears to be a small pearl. She says, "This was a gift, a Nereid's gift. It is one that is very dear to me. Would you take it with you for safekeepings and return it to me with the good news that you have managed to save Wilderan?
Of course. It would be my honor.
All right. Puddles, you acquire the Blessing of the Nerid. The Blessing of the Nerid informs you thusly. You are in no way encumbered at any stage by any form of liquid. This includes acid or lava, meaning you could effectively move through it as if you had freedom of movement. So long as you
Okay,
possess
so
the power.
Puddles can carry all the beer from the bar.
Yep, unencumbered.
Does it also prevent burning of the flesh if I was swimming through lava?
Yes, it basically creates a pocket of comfortable environment directly around you and allows you to control your movements within that space without being hampered or injured.
Okay.
Yeah, but it has to be a liquid. So it could be, so for example, it won't help you through ice or dirt. But, you know, yeah, acid, lava, slurry, water, etc. Yeah, all fine. Slurpees, yeah.
If I were to pick something up, would it become a part of that or no?
Yes. Anything you have effectively equipped to yourself will come under the effect of that.
Okay. All right. Puddles will take the pearl and swallow it.
She's a little
That's
confused at
what
that,
Puddles is
but
supposed
she
to
will
do.
she will accept it. She's like, I hope you don't do that every 8 hours. So, yes. Just but the gesture is lovely, and she will indeed thank you for your kindness, and she says, now I grow weary and tire. I must regain my strength, for there are more who will come, and more who will seek the truth that the Eternity Well seeks to give. And she once again closes her eyes and returns to song. All right. Unless there's anything further you wish to do, or poke or prod, you may choose to.
Is anyone sorry.
No, go.
I was just gonna ask, is anyone good at cartography?
I suck at
Sorry.
it.
You hear a voice coming from behind you. I am good at cartography.
Sorrel whips around.
Oh no.
I turn around.
As you do so, you see behind a stalagmite is a small, gaunt, little green figure.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
A tiny goblin emerges from behind a stalagmite.
I punch him in the face as soon as I turn around and see him. What? He startled me. I was so scared, guys. I swear. I punch him again. And there he goes
Punch him in the
again.
nose. Blood just pours from his nose. He runs over to the sacred water, not in the basin, the actual, water, and just starts washing his nose. He's like, oh my god, why would you do this? This is, you're so violent.
You startled me twice.
With you people.
You did it twice.
Oh, my nose. Mon Dieu.
Thought I killed you.
Ah, you thought you killed La Rouge. It will take more than this. Listen,
I'm ready to punch him again just in case.
No, don't punch me. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen, I followed you from the home of the scary hyena people, and I must say you all seem to find a very very strong adventure, n'est-ce pas?
Mocha just has like for any of the anime nerds that Soul Eater just met Excalibur face, just like just silent.
I am La Rouge. He starts hopping on one leg. I am La Rouge, and he just starts singing the song. So
I
Oh,
officially
no.
hate this.
all right, he says, listen, you said you need a cartographer. I am a cartographer. In fact, I am you say wanting to maybe mend some bridges here. Last time we spoke, I mean, look, mistakes were made, cakes were devouring people, but that was not all La Rouge's fault. Okay, La Rouge was trying to help a lovely couple experience amour. Yeah, I mean, what is wrong with this, huh? He
Well,
looks
you
over
do
at
think
Sorrow
so.
and gives her a wink.
Can I punch him again?
Oh, that's no punch. Ah, please no punch him. Look,
You know
I'm
what?
really
That actually
sorry.
set my nose right.
You're
Oh,
lucky.
I can breathe so much clearer now. Oh, is this
I'm
what I
really
smell
s-
like? Oh my god.
oh dear.
Puddles is gonna look at LaRouge's feet to see if they're wearing it, if he's wearing any shoes.
LaRouge is wearing one shoe. His other shoe may have been
Puddles
blown
is
off.
Puddles is gonna pull their foot up and hide the fact that Puddles is wearing their other shoe. The fashionable
Alright.
Try to
I
hide it
completely forgot.
underneath their butt.
All right, yeah. So he says, look, listen, if you want to, I can guide you on a path through the Mockingbird Plains. No, not the Mockingbird Plains. This is the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. The Wilderan Plains. I can guide you through. I know a secret way that is only known to the centaurs. This way, you can move through without having to bump into some danger and some trouble. I mean, it seems as though trouble follows you around anyway, but this is something something I can maybe I'll do it for a nominal fee. Also, hello, naked lady. I am La Rouge.
I don't.
How about just the honour of helping Wilderan? Be a hero. Is that not enough? I mean,
Or Puddles looks between Sorrel and LaRouge. Looks long and hard at Sorrel and then back long and hard at LaRouge.
LaRouge is making goo-goo eyes at Sorrel, and every now and then is kind of looking past Sorrel. Like, those memes where you've got that guy walking with his girlfriend looking over his shoulder? He's kind of doing that with the narrator as well.
Okay, I can.
Puddles holds
How many
up their
times should I
hand.
punch him till I fix him completely?
I didn't think there's any fixing him, really, to be honest with you. But
I mean, I
if we
can
need a
try anyways,
photographer
right?
And he's one. I mean,
It wouldn't hurt to try.
I disagree.
look.
I think it would hurt.
cause
So
us
it
any more
wouldn't hurt at all.
trouble.
We'd be
Just
just
pull his
fine.
hat off
Then
again.
Yeah.
Puddles will then pull their foot out from underneath their butt and you know how how those dancers do with the long leg kind of kick and then kind of show the shoe and say, if you will draw the map, if I describe to you this thing and draw the map for us, I'll give you this really fancy shoe I found innocently
He looks at it and he says,
a long
You ha-
time ago.
he says, you have my shoe. He says, please, I will do anything.
This will be the cost. This will be
Oui,
the
oui, oui.
payment.
I will, I swear.
And then Puddles Puddles will describe everything they saw in the vision to like give all the directions and say, now draw the map and draw it correctly, and you can have the shoe.
And also, as he says, we, Mocha's just like, not in the Holy Springs.
uh, P jokes.
I took psychic damage there.
That's
I'm
like
sorry,
exactly-
it's almost 9 in the morning.
It's amazing.
Alright.
It's great. Don't worry.
The drawing is not great, but it does seem to very accurately depict where you need to go. It points out a large pair of trees that you must use as a bearing while traveling through the Mockingbear Plain. It rests itself upon a hill, and you need to always make sure that you are keeping it to the right. You must set out at precisely 9 a.m. with your hand always to the right, pointing directly at those trees, while you walk towards wherever the sun happens to be until the midday sky, at which point you should find a small, like worn path that the centaur use.
Puddles will slowly pull the shoe off and dangle it with their hand held out for the map. It's like trying to trade it simultaneously.
Oh, he will trade it straight away. He will give you the map and then try to take the shoe.
Puddles will let them have the shoe as soon as they have the map, and then Puddles will hand the map to Sorrel. Here, Sorrel, you're good at things, and you have that really cool bag.
Oh, aye, right, yeah. And she'll have a quick look at it as well, and then she'll roll it up and she'll pop it in the little bag of holding to keep it safe.
Sorrel,
right.
I think he was looking at you, and then Puddles will like scoop, like hop back into Mocha's mug.
Right.
I feel that after you've killed somebody twice, that it's probably not a good idea to maybe try and marry them. I mean, just saying.
You see that LaRouge is lost in his own thoughts. He looks at the shoe in front of him. We see a vision of LaRouge as a baby LaRouge with a mustache and a red hat. He's in a small shoe store with a big cobbler sign. There his father, another LaRouge, just slightly bigger, with a bald spot, is working on a pair of shoes. You see a human walking up. LaRange, have you finished the shoes? Yes, sir, I have. These are not broche. What do you call these? It's garbage work. He picks up the shoes and he throws it across the room and then backhands LaRouge's father. You see LaRouge watching, cowering behind a small table. You see his father sort of apologize profusely, and as the store owner leaves, he says, "You will stay late until all of the shoes are done." You see LaRouge's dad turn, there's like mountains of these broken shoes. And he says, "Yes, sir, thank you for the opportunity." You hear the sound of the human walking out and then locking the door behind them. LaRouge comes out. "Papa, why do you allow him to treat you this way?" LaRouge's father turns and sort of smiles, sits down and pats his knee. LaRouge climbs, like with both hands, up onto his father's lap, and he says, "LaRouge, my son, you must remember, not everyone is out to get you. Some people help you, but they do not know how to express it. Sometimes they will kick you. Sometimes they will punch you for no reason whatsoever. And other times they might explode you in a small mining accident. But you must remember, you do not keep hatred in your heart, LaRouge. Because what do we, LaRouge men, do? We make tough souls, Papa. Yes. Yes, we do." And you see LaRouge sort of weep a little as he holds this very old and tatty shoe. That was very difficult for me.
Do this.
Puddles like wipe a tear from their eye.
Wait,
Oh,
did your
the
character
reason.
see these?
No, it's a flashback.
Okay,
None
I
of you
punched
know.
LaRouche.
Punch
I
him in the
punched LaRouche
nose.
again. Yeah, I punched him in the
Yeah,
nose again.
yeah. Whack. Just quit your crying.
He started crying. It really startled me, okay? I was actually scared.
Oh, mercy Christ. All right. Yeah. All right. With LaRouche's directions now in hand, you have a direction to make your way to the Centaur Trail. The Centaur Trail is well known for being the quickest way around Wilderan, as the Centaurs serve as effectively the postal service in Wilderan. Their pathways are pretty much considered to be a dangerous way to travel because more than likely a centaur moving at about 120 kilometers will likely run you down. So, generally speaking, people avoid them. You, however, have been given these pathways, and of course, according to Puddle's vision, the centaurs aren't using the trail at the moment. You leave the small cave. LaRouche bids you farewell. No, he doesn't. He just disappears for whatever reason. And you once again acquire your horses and begin to make your way following suit. Now, there's still half a day worth of travel, which, if you would like to, you may begin to head across the Wilderan Plains towards the Lamented Woods, where both the reptile folk are, as well as the ruins as described in Puddles' vision. Alternatively, you may make your way back to Moorgrave Keep in order to confront the commander or possibly Drizzy. Or you may head north to Bovenheim and warn them of the impending arrival of several mammoths, which, of course, you believe the Falkry friend of Rictic was trying to warn Bovenheim of.
Puddles will look to everyone and say,
All right, and we are back. Welcome. Hi, everyone. Yeah, Eddie got loose. So if you see Eddie, please return him at 555 Dead Aussie Gamer, and we will ensure that he does no harm to the people in the local public. So just to quickly recap, so that we can wrap up today's session, which is going to be in about 5-10 minutes. Right now, our group has 3 choices in front of them. The first of which is to head to Moorgrave Keep, where they know that Lieutenant Drizzy is plotting behind the commander's back to likely start the invasion early. Alternatively, they can travel through the Wilderan Plains across the Centaur passageways in order to make their way to the Lamented Woods, in order to search the ruins that was seen by Puddles in their vision, to find the egg that was seen. Alternatively, the group could head north to Bovenheim, where the Falkry friend of Rictic was heading in order to try and warn them that mammoths were on their way. The scene is yours. What would you guys like to do?
"Oh, after everything that I saw, message back
Sorry, 2 seconds. That was my bad. I forgot to put you guys on a different channel. There we go. Okay, now they should be able to hear you.
So if we send Arnold Horsenator or Mr. Ed back with a note to let the commander know what's happening at Mulgrave Keep, we could go and maybe save the guy that had the wizard's necklace before they're destroyed at Bovenheim, and then we can go straight from there to where we need to go. What do you guys think?
I think that might be a good idea. Maybe. I don't know.
Kind of disagree. Like, we're the only ones that know about this egg thing. Like, right now, we're the only ones that can deal with that. And the commander seems like, I know he's in a bit of a pickle, but he can deal with that.
But that's why we send him a message. We don't have to go there. We just send a horse with a letter.
I just think that if we get our job done as fast as possible, then all this other bad stuff will stop happening. Like,
it only takes a minute to write a letter.
No, I mean, we're going to the Bovenheim thing. If I go out of our way, and then
I think what Sorrel means is that if they send the horses to Bovenheim and to the fortress, there's going to be less speed that you guys are going to be able to make to get to the Lamented Woods, because you'll be doing it on foot.
No, I understand what Sorrel's saying. Puddles gets it. But Puddles is part of what we need to... The wizard said that... Ristic said that person could help us. And I saw them being killed. If he is killed, he can't help us. We're gonna need help.
Are you sure he was killed? Wasn't he like taken away maybe?
He was killed.
Well, no sooner than you say that, you hear a sound in the distance. You hear, let's see if I can get this.
A zombie.
Knew it.
We pan away from our heroes amidst their discussion, their eyes turned to the west, the sound of the horn echoing and resonating across the plains. There we see an open field with two very large mammoths, as well as an actual mastodon that seem to be following two large centaurs that seem to be running from them. We will return next week and find out what our heroes will do as we charge as we wrap up this session. Thank you so much to everyone, and a very, very big and special thank you to my players, as well as to, of course, Eddie, who is not here right now, but we do thank him anyway because we love Eddie. Eddie makes sure that if we do crash like this, everything doesn't just go to pots and we can come back and provide you a wonderful conclusion no matter what happens. So thank you, Eddie. Thank you, everyone. We are now going to wrap up by, of course, thanking our wonderful players, finding out where we can attend, and then, yeah, we'll go raid someone. So, yes, over to you guys.
Oh, yes, I am Laura Bones, and I stream on Twitch. I generally do world building streams. I've been doing some interviews recently. I've been doing some more interviews with a group of podcasters that I've been getting involved in, so keep an eye out for that. That's Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays, and you can also find me on Fridays on this channel again in our Strange Aeons campaign. Yeah, and that's me. Or you can hit us up at LauraBones79 on Twitter if you wish.
I am Kim, also known as Puddles, also known as D_20TV. I do a lot of D&D, teaching people how to use Fantasy Grounds, Foundry VTT, and also tutorials in Dungeon Fog. And tomorrow night I will be at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We have our live game for a homebrew 5th edition game in the world of Encasia that I have designed. And throughout the week, you can also find me on Twitter at D_20TV.
My name is Aiden, and I do D&D short animations on YouTube. You can find me looking up Aiden D&D or just Aiden, if you don't mind, like my video or religious video, my video or religious video. But I do short sketches based on D&D, and I draw them myself. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you can follow me there. And if you just want to hear me like just complain all the time, you can follow me on Twitter at Bird Cyclops. Thank you.
Hi, I am Flint_LOCKE on Twitch and Twitter. I am a singer and ukulele player with the Misbehaving Maidens, which is a funny, filthy feminist fandom folk band. I also stream Dungeons and Dragons streams weekly. I play a weird pair of glamour bards in VR chat roleplay, and I voice act things like visual novels and mystery games with my friends.
Fantastic. And of course, my name is Michael. I am the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my face. This is my place. I said it the wrong way around, but it's fine. You can find me here running a bunch of games and all over the internet. God, I wish I had the capacity to remember everything I was doing. So here's my attempt. I run Starfinder on Mondays, Curse of Strahd on Wednesdays, Saturdays we run Winds of Wilderan and Strange Aeon, Sundays we run Rise of the Rune Lord, these are all of course Australian times, I think Sundays as well we launch Talisman role-playing game on How to Be a Great GM, and once a month we play on Orkenspalter TV playing Forbidden Lands, and then once a month we play Forbidden Lands on the Free League Publishing game. I will also be joining up with the Mercs of Mischief sometime soon to do some stuff, and I am about to embark on a bunch of really cool Through the Breach tutorial videos and stuff on my YouTube channel, where you'll find lots of advice on role-playing and gaming, as well as Dead Aussie Gamer Live, where you'll find shows like this, all being done live and kept in one happy, convenient little spot. So yeah, please go follow all that stuff. Enjoy it. Come join us on Discord. We have a lovely and friendly community of people who just love to hang out and chill and just talk role-playing. We'd like to also thank our sponsors, Hero Forge, from which we love all of our little figurines and characters, which with very little effort, I want to point out, with very little effort, can be turned into absolutely stellar icons for even your streams or wherever you happen to use them, as well as 3D printable minis, which of course I would love to show a little bit of, just because I can. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like for you to behold. We have a mocha, which is a delightful miniature here, which is going to be sent to Flint. It is absolutely gorgeous. We have a very tiny sorrel, who is also incredibly awesome. I know they're very, very tiny. And don't worry, we'll post like some close-ups. We have Fennec and his absolutely amazing little monk Vulpin, and of course the indomitable and ever amazing Puddles, and they're rocking out with some love potions and stuff on the back, which is very cute, and I loved it. It's amazing. Puddles. So yes. So go check out Hero Forge. Lots of cool stuff there. In addition, guys, do check out Sirenscape if you loved the sound of the music. They elevate games in a whole different way. And if you haven't followed them on Facebook, they've done a bit of a tutorial video on how to marry using Sirenscape amongst your games so that you can, do it smooth and seamless. And of course, we use Fantasy Grounds for our VTT, which I don't think we used today, did we? Not really. I mean, we dice rolled, but didn't really use a map or anything. But we have it. Yeah, we have it. We use it. So there you go. Thank you so much, everyone. We are now going to go and raid our friends over at the Giggle Guild. Do be sure to send them our love. Send lots and lots of Aussies as we jump into chat. Because remember, if you raid with us, you earn those big dag dollary dues that you can use in order to influence the course of any game that you watch on this channel. Thank you once again. And till next time, as always, from us to you, game hard or die trying. Good night, guys.